So apparently the Vancouver Canucks signed this guy to an entry-level contract today. His name is 2019 Calder Trophy winner, I think? Cut me some slack. I didn't say 2019 Conn Smythe winner. Relax. But seriously, let's talk about realistic expectations for Elias Pettersson heading into next season. I think there's an above-average chance that he makes the Canucks out of training camp. His head coach at Vaxio and the Swedish World Championship team have basically said that he's going to be making the NHL sooner rather than later. Why not next year? Seemingly every puck he touched turned to gold in the SHL, and that is a men's league he was tearing up. I also thought he was one of Sweden's better players at the World Championships before he got injured, playing on a line with Michael Backlund and Gustav Nyquist. Every time he touched the puck, he looked dangerous, and I think he proved that he didn't look out of place amongst NHL veterans. So Miroki, is he going to score 70, 80, 90 points next year? What's going to happen? Well, anything could happen, but I think we should cool the jets a bit. Yes, I know we dumbed down our expectations for Brock Besser last year, and he completely broke those, shattered those wide open. I don't know if that metaphor works, but his situation was a lot different. He was coming in his draft plus 3 year. He had already had 2 years in the NCAA level, basically building up his body to play at the rigors of the NHL level, and he's also been known North American ice his entire life. Whereas with Elias Pettersson and coming from the SHL and Sweden and over in Europe on European-sized ice, it's definitely going to take a bit of an adjustment period. I mean, you look at the Sedins in their first year in the NHL, they only put up 30, 33 points. I also think the amount of power play time is going to drastically affect how many points he puts up next year. If he only gets minor power play 2 minutes, he might not put up as many points as if he does on power play 1. Especially since, just looking at his track record, although it's a small sample size on North American ice, he relied heavily on the power play at the World Junior Championships, and honestly didn't really do that much at 5-on-5, maybe due to the smaller ice surface, but as I've said, it's going to be an adjustment period nonetheless. I am, however, very excited about the growing pains that he will no doubt be going through, because he figured out a way to dominate against men as a teenager in a lanky body. He seems to be very self-aware of his game, of his strengths and weaknesses, and he continues to learn and become a student of the game and figure out all the different ways to get better. I'm not going to say he's a shoo-in for the Calder Trophy next year, but I definitely think he's going to be somewhere in the conversation at one point in the year. So where does he fit into the lineup? Who does he play with? How much ice time does he get? Well, Travis Green will probably start him off with limited third-line ice time in an offensive role. Not to say that his defense isn't bad. It's actually quite good for his age. I've been very, very impressed with his back check. It's just giving him offensive time, offensive zone starts, and maybe some power play time too will hopefully give him the confidence to get his offensive game going, and everything else should follow suit. He is an offensive player, let him do his thing, and it's not like the Canucks have too much offense where they gotta say, whoa, 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 Elias, calm down, you're scoring too much. It's gonna be quite the opposite, especially now that the Sedin twins are gone. Speaking of the twins, let's talk about his potential line mates. Who is he going to play with? The twins are who was my ideal pairing if they chose to come back, but alas, they're now playing golf with John Shorthouse and Dan Murphy. He'll most likely start his NHL career where he played all of last year in Vaxio on the right wing. He probably won't play center, and to me that means there might not be a spot for him unless he plays on the left side with Horvat and Besser, but I don't really see anyone else but Berchi or Goldobin in that spot, maybe later in the year, but to start the year, I think it'll be Berchi, Goldobin, Horvat, Besser. Second line is where it gets interesting because there's no Henrik Sedin. You either put Sam Gagner there, Brandon Sutter there, even Marcus Granlund. Maybe you play him with Adam Gaudette. I don't really know who his center is going to be. I really hope it's not Brandon Sutter because that's just an offensive black hole. I'd be curious to see if he has some chemistry with Marcus Granlund, but honestly, I think maybe the more likely scenario is that the Canucks go out and sign a free agent center over the summer. Maybe a guy like Valtteri Filppula, someone to show him the ropes in the NHL. I know they were heavily considering signing Michael Backlund this offseason if he didn't re-sign with the Calgary Flames, which makes a lot of sense now that I think about it, just to pair him with Elias Pettersson. Now that that is no longer in the picture, we'll have to see what happens. To me, I think a line of Sven Berchi, Marcus Granlund, and Elias Pettersson would be very interesting, as they have a good blend of skill, shooting, playmaking, and defensive capabilities where that line hopefully won't get dominated each and every night. Now, if we're looking at the possibility of Pettersson starting next year as a Canuck, how does that affect the other players vying for spots? Even with the Sedin twins gone, the Canucks still have a ton of forwards looking for an opportunity, possibly even more if the Canucks go out and sign a free agent center. Jonathan Dahlin probably won't make the team. Zach McEwen is a dark horse to make the team next year. There's Darren Archibald, Brandon Gauntz, Reed Boucher, who are all maybe looking to be that 13th forward next year. Plus, who knows, maybe another rookie comes into training camp next year and forces management's hand and they have to make the team as well. Cole Lind, Jonah Gadjevich. Honestly, my money is on Petrus Palmu. Maybe even a guy that they draft this year. Honestly, past Horvat and Besser, Canucks management has quite a few decisions to make this offseason and in training camp as to who will make the opening day lineup. So that's going to do it for me for this video. A bit of a short one to get back into the swing of things as I'm now back from Thailand. I don't know if you can tell, maybe I'm a bit darker. I don't know, I'm definitely not any funnier from the vacation. But yeah, please let me know in the comments section what you would like to see from me over the summer. I have a bunch of ideas that I would like to do. It's just a matter of doing them. Also, let me know down in the comments how many points you think Elias Pettersson will get next year. I'm going to say the over-under is 35 points. So yeah, I'm back. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like, and if you feel like it, subscribe. You don't have to. Also, just remember, stay hydrated, drink water, look at lots of memes, have a good summer. Let's do it.